I'm Dawson.
My name is Dawson.
Hi, I'm Dawson.
You're Dawson. Dawson, yeah, I know.
Oh, you're Dawson. Wow.
Why movies? What's the attraction?
See, I believe that all the mysteries of the universe, all the answers to life's questions can be found in a Spielberg film. I reject reality. There's a formula to it, that's all. Anybody ever see Rocky or the Karate Kid? I mean, this film needs to be about the underdog, not the golden boy.
Are you familiar with obsessive reality disorder?
Whenever I have a problem, all I have to do is look to the right Spielberg movie, and the answer's revealed. He needs to overcome some kind of internal conflict within himself, and we, the audience, need to know why this game is so important to him. What's he going to prove to himself if he wins it? We need to care about it.
So what are you, Dawson? Some sort of film buff?
So what are you anyway? Some sort of film buff?
Pathetic. Mr. Gold, as producer, I'm going to have to insist you shut him up.
I can't believe you're a Spielberg fan. The guy makes slick fairy tales.
Movies by nature are escapist. If you want reality, look out the window.
You sound like a guy who can't face the reality. You know, you're gonna have to deal with yourself. You can't live in the past. You have to start preparing for life. You're just looking for conflict. Everything's a potential script to you. Accept your perfect life, Dawson. It's reality. Fasten your seatbelt. It's gonna be a bumpy life.
Go for it, Nellie.
Oh, I will.
Situation.
Then what? Your world has turned so completely upside down that you can't even answer a simple question?
You know what? I think she did answer the question. I just think you happen not to like the answer.
You can't just make me fall for you and then...
Dawson, my fine oblivious friend. One of these days, you're gonna have to take a gigantic fact check.
It penetrates you, Dawson. You're so far removed from reality, you can't even see what's right in front of you.
What are you talking about?
Life. It's a freaking fairy tale, and you don't even know it. You just want conflict for that script you're writing. Stop living in the movies.
I criticize you for living in a fantasy world, Dawson, but the truth is I envy you. Everything's so new, so untouched for you. I would gladly trade in all my experience for just an ounce of your idealism.
You just try too hard. You're overzealous.
My downfall.
Did it occur to you that maybe I'm just not interested?
No.
Why can't you just let the moment exist? Why do you always feel the need to make it happen?
No, I don't know. I do. But blind optimism is one of my faults.
One of your faults? Do you have many? You're doing this Frankenstein high thing. I mean, one minute you're Dawson, the next you're psycho alter ego. I mean, you're the sea creature from your own movie.
You call it wish fulfillment, a delusion of the highest adolescent order, but Joey, I'm telling you, something primal exists between us.
We should always stay home on a Saturday night and watch movies, because the remote and the rewind of life does not work.
No, it doesn't.
Well, let me just remind you how your little allegorical horror movie / love story ends. The creature doesn't get the girl. He dies a violent, bloody, horrible death. Rest in peace, Dawson.
Why did he stop?
Well, someone could ask you the same thing. I mean, when I left for college, you were like this unstoppable force of film geek energy. I mean, you were all Spielberg this and Hitchcock that. And I come back and film is like this unfinished project you've sort of stuffed in your closet.
Why do you think you want to be a filmmaker?
Well, doesn't my essay pretty much cover this?
You see, that's the problem, Dawson. It doesn't.
I write this essay, an application for USC Film School, and it's killing me. I can't, for the life of me, answer the question, why do you want to be a filmmaker?
Why do you, kid?
Well, see, that's the problem. I'm having trouble putting it in words.
You spend 5 pages, rather eloquently, skirting the essay question. Why do you want to be a filmmaker?
Well, it's a pretty difficult question to answer.
And USC is a difficult school to get into. There are thousands of students, just like yourself, hoping against hope at a chance to study at one of the best film schools in the country.
I first heard about USC when you were 10, and for the last 4 years it's been the friggin' mantra of the Leery household.
Guys, USC is not for me. I want to drop out.
You know, you can tell me the truth. I mean, I'm from LA and I hate it, so I can't imagine what strangers must think.
It's not entirely awful.
Dawson, try not to get lost in there.
I knew film school would be full of posers. I just didn't know it'd be this bad.
But, I mean, you like it. like, in general.
Yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
And things are going really well for you. I mean, you got that internship at the film company, you got to meet Todd.
So, how'd your first day go?
Going back to the job,
Right, the job. Actually, I must have forgotten to mention, I actually got fired.
You've been making movies ever since you were a little boy.
Whatever happened to the talented young filmmaker Dawson Leery? Why did he stop, and where is he now?
Mr. Brooks, I need to know why you stopped making movies.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because I stopped too. You know, I was going full steam ahead, nothing was gonna stop me, and then, you know, life got in the way. I had what you might call a crisis of faith. I know this comes as a surprise to both of you, but I spent the whole summer in LA, and I went to every single one of my classes, and the main thing that I learned about LA is that LA is just not where I want to be right now.
You overcome hell and high water and the kind of adversity that would send ordinary kids running for cover, and you actually do the impossible and you get yourself in.
You did it, Dawson.
You
Did it. My friends in Boston.
How come you're not with them?
Because this was a dream. Movies.
How's it matching up against the reality?
It's weird. It doesn't.
Now here you are. Your whole life fading and you're thinking about chucking it all away. What? Crazy.
Maybe a little.
You want to talk about standing at a crossroads, fine. But for God's sake, choose your own path.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, you're not. You're following Joey down hers.
We can never be friends as long as you keep fighting over the same guy.
Joey, it's obvious you're in love with Dawson.
She didn't mistake you for anybody. Okay, this girl is head in the clouds 100%, ass backwards, alright?
Trust me, there's a difference between friendship and love.
Right, and you're so sure that you know that difference.
You can't storyboard a kiss. Sure we can. It's not reality, Dawson. These movies that you're watching, they're false images that don't exist outside the city limits of Hollywood.
Not true. They're images grounded in the reality of imagination. Everybody thinks that movies are fantasy, but they don't have to be. From here to eternity, we can have that. We just have to create it. I don't get it. What did he do that I didn't do?
He asked her out?
I don't think you're angry with me for kissing you. I think you're angry with yourself for kissing me back. I know all about the kiss.
No, you don't.
Joey, you kissed somebody else. What else is there to know?
What the, like...
It just happened. So you kissed my girlfriend. I'm not gonna apologize for it, man, because truth is, I'd do it again.
Oh my God, Dawson, what are you doing?
There's no justifiable reason why girls who spent the last 15 years of her life pretending I was the only thing she wanted ended up kissing some other guy and lying about it.
I know this must seem like the hardest thing in the world right now, but you know what? In the long run, it's better that Pacey told you.
Tell me what? Okay, you know, the fact that you're unwilling to answer my question speaks volumes. It has to do with Joey, doesn't it?
God, I'm so sorry.
My best friend's falling in love with my girlfriend. I still have half a picture to direct. Do you have any idea what that's like?
You were my best friend. I still am. Finding it a little hard to process right now. So were you planning on telling me, or was this just going to be a secret?
It's not like
Then
that.
how was it, Joey? Because Jen was a little short on details.
She told you?
Well, she thought I knew. I mean, I had to be pretty freaking stupid not to know, right? That the two people I trusted most in the world were lying to me? Well, they're three friends that grew up with each other. Jeff Bridges is in love with Syl Shepherd, and she dumps him. It breaks his heart. He's completely devastated. And turns out she's not. She just kind of moves on to the other guy. And it destroys their friendship. Yeah, it's never the same after that. And that's how the movie ends. Everyone alone, everyone hating each other. It's pretty depressing, actually. I don't know why I'm watching it. Okay, Dad, I realize this might seem a little hyper-dramatic from the cool, calm perspective of an adult, but this is my world, okay? My life. My quote-unquote best friend pursued a relationship with a girl that I've loved in one way or another for as long as I can remember. And that hurts so much that sometimes I can't sit still. Now, I think I've done a pretty good job of trying to move forward. You were happy before you found out about Pacey and Joey seeing each other. Now, would you have rather stayed in the dark, or would you have rather someone come to you and told you the difficult truth? Last time I acted like a kid with my feelings, I ended up trying to prove something in a boat race. Remember that? Yeah. Not my finest moment.
I
don't forget who started this, Casey. You're the one who said you wanted to...
The both of you, stop.
Don't you think it's possible what's driving this style of yours is nothing more than fear?
Just trying not to make the same mistakes as made in the past.
Has it ever occurred to you, Dawson-san, that maybe they're not mistakes at all? Maybe this is exactly where you're supposed to be at this moment in time.
There's no time constraint on how long you can care about someone, no limit on how much. Especially if they've been so much a part of your life already.
What happened?
That's what I've been sitting here trying to figure out.
What's gonna change between now and tomorrow morning?
Maybe me.
You know, I do feel like the monster from my movie. I want to know what's going on between us.
And does that question have to be answered tonight?
There's something inside me I can't control. I wanted the moment to be perfect between us. It's like I have no balance anymore. Everything's either high or low, hot and cold, black or white. It's like there's no middle ground anymore. Yeah, I mean, nothing's just okay.
Does Dawson know?
Know what?
Do you think my mom's sleeping with a co-anchor?
God, I joked about them having an affair, but I was never serious.
My parents are getting divorced. So now, do I have...
No one to tell me who to be. I'm going insane. I'm wasting away. I found a new low at 23.
What always wins out, Dawson?
Honey, sometimes you focus so hard on the solution that when you step away, when you pull back, only then does the solution truly appear.
This is a conclusion that we've reached.
But I conclude that your conclusion sucks. And I think that's what love really means. Forgive anything. My parents. Love does not conquer all, but love ends and begins again.
It's Mitch. He's dead.
How?
It was a car accident.
Your mother? How's she holding up?
She cries a lot.
Can't tell you how sorry I am for your loss.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
How you doing today?
You still dead?
Still sucks. Trying to decide between a glass of orange juice and a bottle of wine. Any thoughts?
Well, wine's fine, but whiskey's quicker.
What about narcotics?
Oh, even better.
I'm sorry, Dawson.
I'm fine.
I wish I had something better to say to you than that, but that's really what it boils down to. I'm really, really sorry.
If you have a message for Gail, Lily, or myself, or
I'm fine.
I would have run away screaming.
Can't do that.
Who says?
I do. My mom's a wreck. I gotta keep it together.
She's allowed to be a wreck, and so are you.
Nothing feels real. It's like I've been transported to some alternate universe where I'm just walking around outside my body all day long.
It'll get better, I promise.
That's good. Any advice on how I should deal with the fact that my father's death was almost entirely my fault? Come on, Joe, think about it. If I hadn't come back and laid all this on, none of this would have happened.
Your father died in a car accident. There was nothing you could do to stop that.
It's not entirely true, Joe.
He blames himself, you know.
You should have known that it was a man named Gary Peters who killed your father. A guy who should have known better than to get behind the wheel of a car. A guy who, for the rest of his life, will carry around the guilt of taking Mitch Leery away from his wife and 2 kids. And I want you to know that that guy is not you.
Don't tell me it's crazy, Joe. For all I know, my dad was driving along that night, pissed, having some argument with me in his head, which caused him to take his eyes off the road just long enough
Look, you can't do this to yourself.
You know what he said to me the last time I saw him? He said that I was making a huge mistake and that he was disappointed in me.
It's not you, Dawson. Do not blame yourself for this. You want to grieve? Go right ahead, be my guest, but do not for one single second think that this is your fault, because it is not your fault. He made you into a man that people care about and admire and respect, and most importantly, love.
He said you were this brave kid, but he had no idea how you got to be that way. He said you had a romantic streak a mile long. He said he was proud to know that.
I've been having these episodes, attacks, really, where I get all sweaty and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I can't figure out what the hell to do with myself.
Have you ever passed out?
No, but close.
How long has this been going on?
A couple of weeks.
Dawson, what's going on?
I don't know. I couldn't stay in the house for another second. I'm sorry. The other day I was in the grocery store just waiting in line, and I couldn't wait anymore because there were only two people in front of me, and I knew if I didn't get out of the store that second, I felt like I was going to explode. Just the weirdest feeling, just like a total, complete loss of control. Yeah, but I hate not knowing where that feeling came from. I mean, it's just this random emotion that just completely blindsided me out of nowhere.
Is that how you felt tonight?
Yeah. Well, 6 months ago, this is not what I thought I'd be doing with my life.
What are you doing?
Nothing. You think the idea of going to a movie and losing myself in somebody else's world would be appealing right about now, but it's just not.
How you been doing, man? You know, for the most part, fine. For the most part. Which I'm going to interpret as meaning that even though you're not going down in flames right now, you do have something on your mind. So why don't you just tell me what's on your mind?
Dawson.
I'm Dawson. It's tough, but I've been dealing as well as I could.
These episodes could be how you're dealing.
This is Joe. I don't know what to do with myself.
Dawson, your dad just died. Every right to be feeling that way.
How long has it been since your father died?
Am I going crazy?
You're not crazy, Dawson. Stress manifests itself in all kinds of ways, and anything as significant as the loss of a parent.
Did you talk to Dawson today?
No. He was supposed to call me when he got in, but I haven't heard from him.
Me neither. I called him about the party. He never called me back.
He's okay.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, it was great.
You got him drunk?
Yeah, he had a few beers in the house. Why?
Well, I kind of thought that the objective was to make him feel better sober.
I kind of thought the object here was to make him feel better, period. I mean, come on, look at him.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'd say he's feeling best. That's why.
I know.
I'd say he's hardly feeling anything right now.
Yeah, whatever works.
And you're not in school.
Yeah, I was. After USC.
Why on earth would Dawson Leery, of all people, want to drop out of film school?
I'm thinking about going back. I mean, not now.
Is this something that you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I don't.
And you're definitely not going to go back to USC, huh?
No. And that, I know, is the right decision. But unfortunately, that's about all I know. I don't really do anything. It's like I'm frozen in between the past and the future. I mean, there's no reason I couldn't go back.
Except for the panic attacks. And your mom, who obviously needs you. And your baby sister.
Right.
Every inch of pain that touches you makes you a deeper, more real individual. Whether you're 16 or slightly older.
So it doesn't get any easier?
Nope. You just go to bed earlier.
16 years old and I'm so hopelessly lonely. Okay, look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I like my perspective on life, regardless of how middle-aged it might be.
Okay, but how are you going to reach your audience with that perspective?
You, Dawson Leery, are a self-righteous son of a bitch who cares more about his rose-colored, defunct 1950s belief system than the people who fail to live up to it, huh?
You've always been this larger-than-life Harrison Ford ideal to me. You know?
No one could live up to that, Dawson. Not even Harrison Ford.
It terrifies you, doesn't it? That wholesome Dawson Leery could be so overwhelmingly attracted to someone so flawed. So real.
Screen image doesn't exist. In reality, people are flawed.
We're not all as pious as you, Dawson. Some of us aren't imaginary characters in a Spielberg film. Some of us live in reality.
Do you think that indulging yourself in some James Dean meets Grease Lightning fantasy that you're actually going to prove you're a better man than I am?
I don't have to prove that.
Your script, okay, your hyper-awareness is disarming. You've got to start responding like an adolescent and stop hiding behind that psychology degree that you don't have.
What is wrong with being mature for my age?
Because it's going to trap you, Dawson. Because you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to realize that the reason you're not growing is because you never allowed it to process.
Let's just say I'm geared to respond to life in a certain way. And you say that I don't respond like a typical adolescent. And you're right, I don't. But emotionally, I do. I always have. I'm very much my age emotionally, maybe even younger. My feelings are in constant conflict with my overachieving, self-aware brain, and that's what's driving me crazy. I mean, quote, I'm so sick of Dawson and his stupid horror movie. I wish I could tell him how terrible it is, how stupid and putrid and rancid and... It's awful.
So what? I mean, at least she didn't tell you that the side of you gives her dry heaves. Or that you're a self-centered, self-absorbed, selfish...
Yeah, but she obviously has opinions about me that she hasn't been honest about. She said I was a talentless dreamer with no cinematic future.
Okay, no offense, Dawson, but I don't think anybody cares.
Why can't we just go back to the way things were? Why can't we just be friends, Dawson?
Is that really what you want?
Yes!
After everything that we've been through, you just want to go back to being friends?
Yeah!
Joey, if you don't understand why that can't happen, if you don't get that, you don't get me. I care. Mason, I can honestly use some advice here.
Oh, you want some advice? How about this? Your life is not that interesting.
What?
You know, I am so sick and tired of hearing about you and Joey's boring little mini-dramas. I'm gonna start tearing out my fingernails for relief. Get over yourself, Dawson. Deal.
Jen, you're hiding. You're avoiding dealing with the fact that you're unhappy. Frankly, it was disgusting.
Oh, you're really one to talk, Dawson. I mean, look at yourself, okay? You don't drink, and you don't mess around with anybody or anything, but you are the unhappiest person that I know.
You're absolutely right. You know, I would take my melancholy over this any day because it's real. I'm not fighting to pretend like I'm having a good time.
I'm not pretending, Dawson. I was having a good time.
Sorry, Dawson, I forgot for a second. It isn't about me.
You know what? All I ever do is respect other people's wishes, okay? I'm sick of it. It makes everybody else feel better. It makes me feel like hell.
Well, maybe that's because you're only considering the outcomes and not the intentions. Nobody's out to get you, Dawson. Certainly not me.
Life is composed of moments, just like your script, and you have to take those moments as they come.
Time stopped moving the minute I saw you.
First time in a long time, I wanted to curl up and be a kid and let somebody else take care of it. I guess that's what they call coming full circle, huh?
Late night, oh how I'm missing those brown eyes. Funny, I'd rather be fighting with you than alone in the city we knew. 4 years gone by,
I was watching this kid's film today, and all I could think was, I don't know anything.
It was fun till it hurt. Now I'm terrified.
Or maybe I did, and I just lost it somewhere along the way.
Don't you wish you could be 10 years old again? Everything was so simple and under control then. I felt so protected.
You know, I know what you mean. I mean, I miss the time when I could just climb the trees and roll around in the mud and hang out with the boys.
I wish you could ever just rewind your life. Pretty much all the time. I mean, just, pick it up right after graduation and just do it all over again. What would you do different?
I don't know. Why? What did you do?
I thought I was going well, making new friends, trying different things, just building this whole new life.
What's wrong with that?
Just got too hard, man.
I left you under the cherry tree that June. Back at the place where I told you that I loved you way too soon. And lately, I stare at the pictures you gave me. I can't help wondering if you ever stare back at them too. If I would've known those were the golden
Being in high school, all these ghosts around me. I want to go back. I want to start over. Do things the right way. Yeah, I'd like to get back. But I wouldn't have it the way it was. I just wanted to pinpoint that moment in your life where everything goes wrong. But if you didn't have all the great loves of your life, you wouldn't have anything to make movies about, sure.
You know how they say if you could do it all over again, what would you change? Well, I'd probably change a lot of things. But I'm also really lucky that I have the chance. And I guess what I'm saying is that I'm not gonna look at you and think of everything that happened. I'm gonna look at you and think of everything that could.
You're the storyteller,
You see everything and figure out what it means. You see the look on those kids' faces when you're telling them the story tonight? How caught up they were? You're the guy who builds this fantastic world. You just let the rest of us live in it.
If I would've known those were the golden years, I would've never left you alone when you needed me most, my dear.